A training game between a club player and a grandmaster. We start with the grunfeld-defense.
The grunfeld is all about provocation. Black allows white to build a massive centre, only to spend the rest of the game trying to tear it down. Standard, black is essentially daring white to take space, knowing that a large centre can often become a target if not defended perfectly.
Both sides develop quickly, with black challenging the centre early with d5.
It looks imposing, but the Grandmaster isn't bothered. He's just waiting for the right moment to create a structural weakness.
White pushes the bishop to e5, maintaining a strong presence in the centre. And there it is. Black gives up the bishop on c3, forcing white to double the pawns.
A classic Grunfeld theme. Look at the heat map, it's gone truly purple here. By ruining the pawn structure, black ensures those white pawns are liabilities rather than assets. The position is stable for now, but the strategic advantage has shifted. White has the space, but black has the cleaner structure.
Black develops the bishop to f5 and castles shortly after.
That's an aggressive choice. He's trying to create a mating attack before black can exploit the queenside, but it might be premature.
White attempts a kingside expansion with h3 and h4.
Exactly, the rook is now misplaced on the edge of the board, and the heat map shows white is struggling to maintain control of the central squares.
Black responds with h6, then suddenly sacrifices the bishop on h3.
Very sharp, he's trading a piece to pull the rook away from the centre and compromise the king's cover.
The rook takes back on h3, but white's coordination seems disrupted. White brings the queen to d3, but black immediately pushes the pawn to c4.
A tempo move. Black is simply dictating the terms of the engagement now, pushing the queen back to d1. The pieces are swarming. Black has shifted the focus from the centre to a direct assault on the white king.
The knight leaps to h5, and the queen moves to f6. Black captures on f4 with the knight, sacrificing the piece to open the position.
The board has turned a deep blue. This isn't just a sacrifice, it's a demolition of white's defensive shell. He's being walked across the board. When the king is this exposed in the middle game, the game is usually over, it's just a matter of how.
The white king is forced into the open, dodging checks on e3 and g1. The sequence culminates in a rook sacrifice on e2.
Clinical, he gives up the rook to remove the last defender of the b1 square and the king's safety. The material advantage is now decisive. Black has simplified the position while keeping the white king in a state of permanent panic.
Black captures the rook on b1 and then picks up the pawn on c3.
It's a bit like a cat with a mouse. The Grandmaster is taking his time, ensuring there are no counter chances before the final blow.
A series of queen checks follow, forcing the king toward the f-file.
The white king is wandering into a wasteland. There's nowhere left to hide.
The king manages to reach e3, but the queen quickly returns to c1.
Black is just cleaning up the board now. The tension has completely evaporated.
The king retreats to g3, and black takes the pawn on h5. White tries a desperate rook sacrifice on g7, but black accepts.
A futile gesture. Interestingly, the heat map shows a balanced split for a moment, but that's only because white has no pieces left to control anything. The pawn is the real hero here. Once that c-pawn reaches the 7th rank, the game is mathematically over.
Black brings the queen to a2 and begins pushing the c-pawn. And there it is, queen to h2, checkmate, black wins.